Solana price action and Sol Astrology for the new moon happening on June 5th. All right, guys, I'm doing an impromptu video here. I have a limited amount of time, so I'm going to dive in here. Good morning and good evening, crypto astronauts, depending on where you're tuning in from, and welcome back to the Crypto Astro Paradise. None of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Okay, let's look at the monthly close for Solana. This is looking pretty good. Let's zoom in here a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, and so we see on the monthly close, this is the month of June we just closed. That is a pretty good close. I mean, we closed around 146, it looks like. And that is higher than this peak back here in April 2022. At 143, so that is looking pretty bullish. It's also creating a higher low on the monthly, at least on the monthly close. Now, we're sitting above where it did the gravestone doji on the 2-monthly chart, where, you know, in March, we went all the way up and then there was a ton of selling action down to this level at 127. So that could be a really important level. We want to continue to close above 127, which we have done in the last month. Now let's look at the 2-weekly. The 2-week chart. The 2-week chart's interesting because we're trading in this range right here. If I put lines, we're trading in between kind of this level at 145 in terms of the 2-weekly closes and 183 around there, 184. We've been just kind of bouncing in this range. If you look at the weekly closes, and we're still closing above that, so that's looking good. We haven't broken that level. Now, if we zoom out a little bit, let's go to the weekly. A weekly, we're still sitting above where the gravestone doji closed. We're still above 127, so that's looking pretty good. And now if we look at this macro 50% level, so this green line here, that is at, looks like, I believe 132. Oh, 137. So that's an important level to stay above, and we are staying above that. That's looking very positive. If we look more on the short term, on the daily, you know, I took a Fibonacci from this peak down to this bottom that we saw at 121 on June 24th. We are heading up to this 50% level, 155. It looks like we're getting, so far we're getting rejected from this trend line that I took on the daily chart from January 23 of this year, and then it hit this level here on May 1st, around that 126 level. But then we're getting rejected off of that so far. So we want to see, we're probably going to get some continued resistance, unless we break through, that'd be super bullish. But we might get resistance around 154. 156 and yeah, and this 50% level at 155, 156. So in order to get some really bullish action, we got to bust through this and bounce off of it like that. The question is, when are we going to do that? Well, we could take a look at the astrology to see if that will give us any hints. Would you guys like to do that? Let me know in the comments. Okay, what else could we look at first? I also want to look at the DXY really quick. This is the strength of the dollar compared to other currencies. This is still, if we zoom in, you know, I've been saying over and over that this level at this 50% level from the recent peak back in April down to the bottom, the 50% level still is at 105.26. And so we are still above that 50% level, which means the dollar is still in a pretty bullish setup, as long as we're above that 50% level. And we're also holding this trend line. Well, it is getting some resistance there. So that could be good news for crypto. Is if we can continue to get resistance here, we keep bouncing off of this level approximately. If the dollar gets rejected and we head down to the 50%, maybe it heads down there. If we go even lower, then that would be extremely bullish for crypto. However, it is still in a fairly strong position since it's above that 50%. If we do get through this level of resistance and we head up, that is going to be a red flag for crypto. There's going to be a lot of caution there because it could continue to head up further in that case, as it heads back up to the next 50% level on the macro, which is about 107. But so far, we're getting a lot of resistance at this level here at 105.95 about. We have not gotten above 106.2 approximately, 106.15. So, you know, if we want to see Solana pump, get a crazy pump past that level of resistance, we want to see this dump. So far, we're not getting that, but we're kind of, you know, we'll see what happens if it gets rejected off of there. Okay. Let me know what questions you guys have in the comments below. We could also look at Solana versus Bitcoin chart. This is always good to look at. So this is the price of Solana versus the price of Bitcoin. Wow, Solana is looking very strong. We just got this mega bounce on June 24th of that week, heading into the next week, heading into July. We got this mega bounce, and we're sitting above this 50% level right here. So that is looking very, very strong. Wow. So Solana could, if Solana continues to head up, it's going to continue to outperform Bitcoin. That is very impressive. Are we heading into more of an altcoin run? And is Solana leading this altcoin run? Now Solana versus Ethereum, this is very interesting. As it's actually still below this short-term 50% level at 0.046. We'll see if we get rejected off of this 50% level. In that case, that would be more bullish for Ethereum. Or if we shoot right through it, if we cut right through it like butter, and then we continue to head up, that'd be extremely bullish for Solana. But so far, we haven't seen which way this is going to go. The bullish thing for Solana is, you know, versus Ethereum is it got a higher low here, and then it just potentially got another higher low. So that is more of a bullish setup for Solana. So I would say Solana is continuing to outperform Ethereum right now. If we want to see Ethereum take the lead, we would have to see a really hard rejection from there and then head back down there. Then that would be mega bullish for Ethereum. So I'll keep you guys updated on that. This is very interesting charts here. All right, let's take a look at the astrology, the main event of the evening. Taking a look at the Solana astrology. What I do is I run a birth chart for the Genesis block of Solana. This is what is very bearish, and I warned you guys about this back in May, is that we're getting this very bearish transit, Saturn conjuncting the Solana Neptune. Saturn brings limitations, oftentimes price dumps or sideways price action, and then Neptune brings confusion. Saturn and Neptune don't get along very well, so this is still in effect all the way to mid-August, but especially on July 29th, we get a direct hit a second time. The first time, I believe, was May 31st, and I warned you guys about that. I was selling about 20% of my Solana, and now I'm starting to buy back in. The good news is we are starting to get this positive transit. I think that's why Solana's price is going up right now, is we get the Uranus sextile the Solana sun, which is very bullish because Uranus is the planet of technology. And then the sun is a very important planet on the Solana chart. We're getting a direct hit on July 19th. So we're getting bullish action coming in now, but we're still under this kind of this spell, kind of this cloudiness of the Saturn conjunct Neptune. So we're probably not going to get like any mega pumps until after this, potentially later in August or September. But we will see, because this is a very bullish hit on July 19th. I'll be very interested to see how high we go. Are we going above 160? Are we going above? Are we going to go back up to like 185? It's possible, actually. I can't say that's not possible, because this is a very bullish hit there. What's happening around the new moon on the 5th? On July 5th, we're getting a new moon. This is a bit negative. So we could see a little correction. We could see the Solana price continue to trade sideways a bit. Venus, we could continue to get rejected off of that support level that I was mentioning with the Solana chart. If we go back, we're getting that kind of short-term support level at this trend line, you know, around here. So we could continue to be rejected at like 154, 155. We're probably going to hit this 50%, and maybe we're not going to get above that at 155 because this is a bit negative. Venus opposite the Solana Jupiter. And then we get Venus opposite the Solana Pluto. But we do get Mars trining Mars. So I'd just say volatility. Continued volatility. But, you know, this positive aspect is in effect. This very negative aspect is in effect. But this positive aspect on July 19th is going to hit directly before the negative hit. So could we see a pump with Solana before maybe another correction or more sideways action towards the later half of July heading into August? That is what it's looking like so far here. Okay, let's see what kind of comments we're getting. Hello, yes, please. Okay. Not getting too many comments in the live chat today on Tuesday. Maybe people are at work today. If we look at the daily exchange volume, things were going up a little bit, but as you can see, I mean, ever since we got the all-time high with Bitcoin in March, daily exchange volume has been falling off a cliff. Now, this is not very good. This shows that we're not heading into an all-time high anytime soon. In order to head to an all-time high, we need to head above these levels that we were back at the Bitcoin all-time high. So we got that Bitcoin peak, and then things have been falling off ever since. Altcoins have been falling off, but we did get this little pump here, but it's looking like it might not last. If we continue to trade sideways, could be a good time for accumulation. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm doing. But of course, this is not financial advice. I can't tell you guys to do what you want to do with your money. All right, guys. So I think that's the majority of what we want to look at. Solana is looking pretty strong. We got to hold this level above 137 and things will be looking really good. But we could still continue to trade in this range, perhaps with some continued volatility. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Wow, I just noticed Tesla just got a mega pump. That is very interesting. Whoa. Wow, I'll have to make a Tesla video here, guys. Let me know in the comments if you wanted me to do a Tesla video. Let's get 100 likes on this video and I will make a Tesla video. Yeah, comment below what you would like me to cover next. And I will see you on the next video. Thanks so much for tuning in.